Hey guys, I'm back with another horror flick. Today, we're diving into the movie, The Visitor, 2022. Maya lost her daughter due to a miscarriage, and her father recently passed away suddenly, so she and her husband Robert decided to move back to her hometown. Not long after, the two arrived at the villa. As soon as they entered, Maya took advantage of Robert's inattention to open a box hidden under the hallway floor. She pulled out a creepy-looking doll from inside and began talking to it.
Family hearth, straw and stone.
Meanwhile, Robert had just moved his luggage up and then walked towards the outside. But halfway up, a book suddenly fell from the stairwell. As he bent down to pick it up, a door above suddenly swung open. With his heart pounding, he went up to investigate. Upstairs, he discovered a room cluttered with various items, giving off an eerie, frightening atmosphere. Just as he was about to open that door to see what was going on, Maya called out, "Let's go into town for a walk." He closed the door, and they headed to a small tavern in town. Suddenly, a priest offered to have a drink with Robert, but Robert collapsed after only 2 glasses. Maya took him home to sleep. Robert was awakened by sounds from outside as time passed into the deep night. He thought to himself that it was so late, and there was only him and Maya in this building. How could there be other people's voices? So he decided to go out to see what was going on. He went to the room he found in the morning and found that the noise was coming from inside. Opening the door, he saw an old woman with white hair sitting on the floor, crying. He stepped forward to ask the old lady what happened, but she simply said, "You've come back." After waking from a nightmare, Maya decided she wanted another child with him. After this, they began arguing in broad daylight. Afterward, he walked into the living room and noticed a photograph. Because he was curious about his dream last night, and realized that the person in the photo was the old lady, he went to that room. When he turned on the light, he found something covered with a white cloth. Lifting it revealed a painting, but what was disturbing was that the figure in the painting looked exactly like Robert. Then he found his wife to ask about the situation. Maya said that her father was a collector, and it's just a coincidence that the person in the collection looks a lot like you, so Robert shouldn't worry about it. But at this moment, Maya noticed "Welcome Visitor" written on the painting. That day, he went to the town's supermarket and strangely found everyone there looking at him with kind eyes. The cashier didn't even charge him and leaned in to suggest he visit the local museum. Robert felt very puzzled by this, and then quickly took his things and left. Upon returning home, he discovered that the cashier had thoughtfully slipped a note with the museum's address into his shopping bag. Then Maya took him to her father's memorial service. At the service, it seemed that everyone respected Robert, and the pastor warmly welcomed his presence. After the memorial service, Robert said he was going to town to shop. Then he went to the supermarket to find out what yesterday's note meant. However, the cashier was not working today, so he drove to the museum. Inside, his calls echoed unanswered, but a painting on the wall caught his attention. The figure in it was his exact double. Just as he took it down to examine it, the proprietress said that the painting was not for sale. When the landlady came out and saw Robert in front of her, she was very moved and asked how he found this place. Then Robert said he followed the note here, and was immediately told to leave this place and live as far away as possible. Robert mistakenly thought that the landlady was trying to kick him out, so he left her art store. When he got home, he immediately told his wife about it, but it was clear that Maya was unwilling to reveal what was really going on behind the scenes. Then, she deliberately said Robert didn't want to live here, which is why it was like this. Seeing Maya unhappy, Robert could only suppress the fear inside and tell her that maybe he was just imagining things. Maya went outside to clean up. Later that night, the proprietress was browsing something online when the bell on her door suddenly rang. Anxiously, she got up to check. Approaching a glass door, an insect suddenly crashed into the glass and died. As soon as she looked down, she discovered another insect crawling out from inside. Then she seemed to see something, and was scared and continuously retreated. The landlady died, and the camera focused on the character in the painting. It seemed as if some unspeakable secret was hidden here. The scene changes, and after washing up, Robert picks up his glasses and puts them on. At this moment, he is shocked to discover that in the mirror there is a man who looks exactly like him. He thought it was another nightmare, but when he woke up, his glasses were actually broken. Afterward, he goes to the mirror and keeps staring at himself. He wants to know what's hidden behind the mirror, but he doesn't find anything. Suddenly, Maya appears with good news. She's pregnant. Robert is instantly overjoyed and forgets everything else. 6 months later, Maya takes Robert to see a priest. The priest asks Robert if he's a believer, and Robert responds that he's half believing, half doubting. Then the priest asks him to extend his palm to check, and surprisingly discovers that Robert is indeed a believer. He goes to the bathroom to calm down because he has no idea what's going on. He only said that to please Maya, nothing more. Then he stands up a nearby crucifix and leaves. But just as he closes the door, the crucifix falls over again. He enters the living room and looks at the photos on the wall, noticing someone who looks very similar to him. At this moment, the priest suddenly stepped out and told Robert that the person in the painting was Robert. Hearing this, Robert doesn't believe it at all. Seeing Robert's uncomfortable expression, the priest quickly says he was just joking. The priest then told Robert about the origin of the painting. In the mid-18th century, this place was very poor and often suffered from famine, causing many deaths. But uniquely, the man in the painting found a water source and saved everyone. That's why everyone looks at Robert with kind eyes when they see him. On the way home, he keeps frantically trying to understand what those nightmares are all about. He feels that it's different from what Maya told him, and they end up arguing. Strangely, when Maya opens the door, she finds many toads on the carpet. Then Robert releases all the toads. At this moment, Maya is watching him from the upstairs window, and Robert finds this very strange, as if Maya is hiding something from him. Robert goes online to research the event the priest mentioned, but suddenly he receives a call from an unknown number. After answering, the caller quickly says Robert's name. This confuses Robert greatly, and just as he's about to hang up, the caller asks him to come to the window. He pulls back the curtain and sees a car across the street. After going outside, an old man asks Robert to get in the car, saying he'll tell him the truth. Robert follows the old man to a remote suburb, where the old man cryptically tells him that the hallucination is Robert himself, and Robert is the person in the hallucination. But Robert has no idea what he's talking about. Then the old man gives Robert some money, telling him to take it and leave this place immediately, to go as far away as possible and never come back. Back home, Robert told Maya about this matter. She thought he was losing his mind. She pulled out the medication Robert had been taking, leaving him completely speechless. He returned to the room, was thinking about what name to give the child, and as he was writing, he fell asleep. In his half-asleep state, he heard Maya's voice. He entered the living room and saw someone who looked very much like him. That person took out a piece of straw and covered the child's face, then kissed Maya. When he woke up, he realized he had been dreaming. In the blink of an eye, he saw Maya still beside him, which puzzled Robert. He went to the bathroom and checked himself in the mirror. Finding nothing unusual, he convinced himself he was hallucinating from taking too much medication, and tossed the pills into the trash. Strangely, when he came to the living room to look at those papers, he found that there was nothing on them. Then he got a voice message from the old man from earlier today. The man claimed he was following Robert's instructions and had arrived at the specified location. But Robert had never asked him to go anywhere. Determined to figure out what was happening, Robert drove to the location mentioned. When he arrived, the old man wasn't in his car. As he walked forward, he discovered a stool, and there was a hammer and nails on the ground, with some residual blood on the nails. When he turned around, he found the old man dead. He removed the piece of paper stuck to the old man's leg, and found that it had the name he had chosen for his unborn child. Panicked and filled with worry, Robert rushed home as quickly as he could to find Maya. Just as he was heading downstairs, he accidentally stepped on a hidden door Maya had concealed. Opening it, he discovered that creepy doll, with a photograph hidden inside. He brought the photo to the living room to compare, suddenly realizing that Maya's father looked a lot like him, and his mother was the white-haired old woman that night. Then Maya appeared behind him, and Robert, holding the photo, asked her, "Who is this?" Maya only said she needs a son. Then Maya revealed the truth. The person in the photo was their father because Robert was kidnapped when he was a child. The old man, along with the store clerk and the art shop owner, had kidnapped him. The person who killed them was Robert. Maya continued, saying that Robert thought everything that happened was just a nightmare. Actually, all of this really happened, because only by killing these people could no one prevent the continuation of the family bloodline. So, the little handsome boy and beautiful girl in front of us are biological siblings with the same parents. Moreover, Maya also said that the daughter wasn't accidentally miscarried, but that she intentionally aborted the pregnancy because Robert needed a son. Robert was very angry upon hearing this, but when he lunged at Maya, she dodged him. Robert was injured and then fainted. Maya came to his side and said that only boys can allow the souls of the ancestors to continue alternating and replicating to survive. After Robert was kidnapped, they had Maya to ensure the continuation of the ancestral lineage. They required Maya to find Robert, marry him, and give birth to a boy. In this way, the soul can be passed down. As the soul finally attached to Robert, completing the bloodline inheritance, Maya's appearance transformed into that of her mother. The cycle was complete.